Barriers to participation. So what barriers are there that prevent individuals from taking part in the sports or the activities that you are thinking of or have selected for the PSA? So cost being the first one. How much does the clothing cost? How much is my top? How much are the shorts? How much are the tracksuit bottoms? How much are the trainers? Do I need to buy the top range ones, or do I drop down to the lower level, lower cost ones? The equipment that I'm using to be able to take part at the minimum. So this isn't just one part of the equipment. For example, tennis, I need more than just a racket to take part in tennis. I need the nets, I need the court, I need balls, okay? I need a partner to play against, or I need someone to support me with that. So that is the equipment range. Also, transport. How much is it going to cost me to get there? Do I need to get the train? Do I need to drive? Can I drive? Am I old enough to drive? So thinking back to the age groups, what can they do? What are they accessible to do? And how much does it cost them to get there or back? Can they walk there? If they can, brilliant. If they can't, can they cycle? Those are the ways that you can look at cost and how it is a barrier to participation. Access is the second barrier that you're going to look at. So can I get there is one thing. So we're not worried about cost now. This is just, can I access it? Can I get there? If I am disabled, physically, hearing or visually impaired, is it accessible to me? How are they supporting me? What sector is it? So in the voluntary sector, are they able to support me with a disability arriving to the location to take part in that sport? If I have a hearing disability, physical disability, or visual disability, can I get into a leisure centre, a public sector? Is there ramps for me to get in? If it's a swimming pool, can I have a lift inside to get upstairs and downstairs? Is there a harness to get me in and out of the pool? So they are things that help me access, or an individual access, any kind of sector. The private sector, most costly, but they will have most accessible features for everyone. Is there wheelchair access to a tennis court? Can I access it? So the location of the area that you are going to be taking your physical activity out, or where you are going to be conducting that. So can I get there? So we've spoken about access inside the sector. Can I get there? Is there a bus that allows me as a disability individual to get to that destination? Is there a cycle path, if I'm not physically disabled, to allow me to access that leisure centre? Can I get to the voluntary sector, grassroots rugby club? Is there access for me at any individual state to get to that sector? Again, looking at different categories of people, their time access is very different. So time is our next barrier to look at. So do I have kids? Do I have a family? Or am I an adolescent? Am I a child at a primary school? What times can I get to these activities? If I'm a child at school, I know from the general hours of 9 till 3, I'm going to be at school. Unless in the holidays, which is half terms, Easter, summer and Christmas. So are there sessions on in the morning, early, before school, or after school for those age groups? Again, if I'm an adult and I do have children, are there creche developments where you can leave young children, if you do have them, to support you being able to do an activity you are looking to do related to the case study? If I'm an older individual, have I got time when I'm collecting pension? What do I have to do in the day or in the evening? I might have a specific event that I need to do every evening if I'm part of a choir group, for example, as an older adult, 50 plus. I might then have to do all of my sessions in the morning. Is there a 50 plus session that I can go to for Pilates? Because there might be a barrier for me socially. So time is different dependent on each age group you are looking at. Work commitments also within the time barrier. Am I an individual that works late? Do I work shift work? For example, if I'm a lorry driver, am I out for 4 days at a time and then I have 4 days off? What is suitable for me at each sector, dependent on the case study and my time barriers. Personal barriers. This is the next barrier that we are going to look at. So these are things that an individual thinks about themselves. Have they got a lack of self-confidence? Okay, are they happy or are they not happy with their body image? Are they confident in going around on their own, or do they need to have that social interaction and work with a partner? Have they had limited participation? So someone that was 13 at secondary school might have taken part in ample amounts of sport. From that point onwards, they noticed a general decline in their activity, so therefore have not done PE or any form of sporting activity since they were 13. They are now 25, 26, 27, dependent on the case study age that you have been given. What is the best suitable outcome for them? Do they just have a general low fitness level? So they know that they haven't got a very high fitness level like most of their peers or most of their friends, but they are wanting the confidence to increase that fitness levels. If they do have a general health condition or disability, they may just be worried about making that condition worse. A lot of the time, people that have a health condition are knowledgeable about it, but then aren't as knowledgeable about the impacts of physical activity and sport on that health condition. Parents and guardians have a big influence on what we do, so this may be something that has impacted an adolescent, a primary student, or even adults and older adults that they remember from their previous. So are they massive on cricket? Are they massive on golf? So they really start to push their child into that sport, or are they completely physical activity neglecting so that they have not pushed their young individual into any sporting environment, so therefore there is an increased lack of confidence in that individual. Cultural barriers is the final barrier that we are going to speak about, and how does that prevent or increase participation in a certain sport or physical activity? So some cultures might be a little bit refraining from taking part in certain sports because of clothing you can wear and religions. So this may be a barrier for certain people. This will be stated in the case if it is apparent. There also is a lack of role models in certain cultural backgrounds. This may prevent individuals from taking part, whether that is gender or religion. This may be something that has impacted you as a young primary student, an adolescent, an adult, or an older adult. Within cultural barriers, there are also different types of clothing that are suitable for different physical activity and or sports. So this might be a massive restriction for certain individuals if they are allowed to wear certain clothing or not.